Welcome to the lounge and the commodities report, and starting with gold here on the daily chart, and as drawn here we can see that we're looking at a 5-wave structure through here, so we're looking for a high above the 1300 here. One of the main points that we need to keep in mind if you're trading this market is that this particular move up off this low here can still be an ABC correction and fail from here, from the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree here, this particular area through here, and move lower from that point. So, or we could be looking at a wave 3 here. I'm not sure about this. It's probable that we're looking at a wave 3 here. Because of the strength that we're seeing in this particular market, in this third wave here. So just drilling in here. So I think that it's just best to, let's just trade the third wave here and then exit above the 1300 here, or at the 1300, whatever you feel like doing. The wave structure to the upside is basically we're looking for 5 waves, waves 1, waves 2, and you can see here that we're still there's still more space to go to the upside here, so maybe I've got that a little bit sort of high here, but let's just see how we go with that. But main point is that we should stay above this particular low here, so a nice place for stops around under this low here, and we'll be looking to get up around the 1320, 1330, but we'll reassess that as we move up higher. And silver's the same, but just before we go to silver, I'm just going to pop in and have a look at the Australian gold stock here, Newcrest Mining here, just to point out its structure here as well. In terms of its structure, this is a daily chart here, and we can look at this as being an at minimum, let's be conservative here to start with, rather than thinking that we're in a third wave, but an A wave here, an A, nice B wave here in 3 waves here, and the C wave here that we tracked down through to here. And we've got a few entries in this market through here, but this this can be just an A and a B and a C wave up here, terminating at this wave 4 high here as well. So that's something that we need to bear in mind. But what we can do in the meantime is stay within this structure here, and once again, like US spot gold, we're looking for a 5-wave structure to the upside, and within that 5 waves here, if I can just open this up a little bit and so we can have a little look at this here, we'd be looking at this as being a little 5-wave structure here for wave 1 here, back for wave 2, and then we're looking for the third wave up. So in the third wave up, we'd be looking for this as wave 1 into here, wave 2, all of this wave 3, 4 and 5. We still got, if I can just draw that out a bit there, in here we're looking for 5 waves, a bit like that. Then we're looking for a corrective move here, and then we're looking for another little 5 waves to the upside. So I think around $15 is quite a nice target sort of area there for this market. Would need to keep an eye on the Australian dollar, of course, as well. It will affect this market. Okay, so silver is in much the same pattern as well. I'm taking quite a bit of a conservative wave count on its wave count up through here, but once again we can expect it to move higher. When I say conservative, I'm looking at this here being all of wave 1 to here, when in fact this green wave 1 could actually be sitting on top of this little structure here, and wave 2 here, so a bigger third wave building up through here. But I think being conservative is a good way to look at it. And we're at 1800 here. 18 is a profit taking number, so we will see a correction here. It's currently resistance. It will have the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, then a correction, then support, and then further to the upside. So it's a process and it takes time. You need to be patient for that. Now, base metals, copper, The daily chart here, not much different since we've left Christmas, except, well, it fell out of bed here quite sharply. So we're getting an extension in the fifth wave here. But from these December previous contract, this is a March contract, but previous December contract, this was the high here. And we're counting down through here. So we are looking at wave 1 and wave 2 here of minor degree. So we're in this big third wave moving down through here, and there's still more to go here as well. This particular move up through here, we're looking at this as just a corrective rally and a bounce off the medium level here. That should be a darker line, single dark line through here, but it is a medium level. We'd expect a bounce there, so that's what we're looking at. We're looking at a rally at that point there. So currently the rally here is in 5 waves here, so we should see a counter trend and then another 5 up. So I will stay with this particular count of moving down here further and even further than this as well. However, this market has got the 250 as support, and it will eventually have it as resistance. There is a positive to the upside though, we need to acknowledge, because there is 5 waves up through here. So I could be totally wrong, and we've got wave 1 up here, wave 2 back, and wave 3 up here. I would only go into that scenario if the 265 and this is all of group 2 here, and the beginning of group 2 is 265. So as 265 became a tested support, well then I would need to reassess the wave count at that point. And if 272 became support, then I know I'd be wrong. That's the point that I know I would be wrong at that point. But otherwise, we need to be a little bit mindful for here, because I don't think base metals are finished to the downside yet. And as oil as well, oil's in a corrective rally, looking at $50, and we're looking at this now. These base metals and oil, of course, affect many Australian stocks here. And what we're looking for here, just on the daily chart, we'll drill down in a minute, is that this particular market never bounced off the 50. So it does tell me that it's weak, yes, because it never stopped it, bounced off the 50, but it also gives me one of 2 patterns, which in this case would be an overshoot pattern to the downside, where it's moved through here, and then the distance it moves below is normally the distance it moves above it. Technically, this market can move back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree. So it can move back to this wave 4 here to 60. That's what it can do, okay? That said, all the retracements we've seen so far, all the retracement levels have been very shallow. So I think we could pretty much run with that scenario, and we can be looking at 52, 53 here from a bounce here. Once that corrective move is done here, then we'll see further downside here. If we drill in here for a moment, we can look at this particular move here. We'll look at this off this low here as 5 waves, as 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't like spikes, but we'll play it there anyway as wave A here, okay? Then we'll be looking for wave B. Normally I'd be looking for 3 waves. We do have 3 waves probably in this thing here, so I can put wave B here, and we can be looking at wave C moving up from this point here. But I wouldn't go trading long in this here just yet. I mean, wave B here could play out in terms of a little bit more here, in terms of an A and a B and a C wave coming into here first as the B wave, and then 5 waves up for the C wave, about the same length as this particular move here. So yeah, I think always thought around the 52 was quite good, so that's why we'll be looking 52, 53. But as I mentioned, technically it can go to 60. Let's just see what sort of support we get on 50 before we start changing that. But it is a corrective rally, be mindful. Okay, the grains, soybeans, wheat and corn. I'm going to start with, soybeans we'll start with first. It's the first on the list. Now, this particular move up through here, it counted reasonably well as an impulse wave. So I figured that, it could be wave A or it could be wave 1 here. The primary wave count is wave A as a corrective rally through here. Now, I've always understood that because we got this first move here in 3 waves, no matter what happened after here, this whole leg from that point would be corrective. This is the 61.8 retracement level from this point to this point here. So we can start to look for support here. This is a reasonably complicated 3-wave structure here, but it's corrective, and it should be wave B here. So we should be looking for waves, a wave C moving up through here in due course. I won't go long until we've got a very solid support sitting on 1,000 here. It is simple as that. And we also need the other markets too. We'll need to see wheat and corn kind of shaping up and doing the same thing as well. One of the reasons that this is a primary wave A here as a corrective pattern rather than wave 1 here is because when we look at wheat, it becomes very clear that we are looking at a corrective first leg to the upside here. Just remove that for a moment. So we can see here that we've got 5 waves here for wave A, B, and then we've got 5 waves here for wave C. So I'm calling it wave A up here. And this move down through here, I'm looking at this being wave B, and then we'll look for wave C up through here. This wave B is sharp, and that's quite normal actually for it to be sharp, but in being sharp it actually can count as 5 waves as well. But I'm still going to, because of soybeans, I'm still going to look at this as wave B here. Now it's a little bit late to short this, been on holidays and so forth, but it's too late to short it for a couple of reasons. It's already moved down a long way. We're close to the 500 here. So there's not much we can do with this particular market. Yes, it can come down further through here, and I will pull that apart and find out exactly where we are within that. But it does appear to look a little bit like this at the time being in wave 1, 2, 3. In fact, that can go, that's a better fit if that moves to there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to there, 4 to there, and 5 waves in through here. So we are looking at a low in here somewhere through here. So we should see a rise shortly in this. If we can get an impulse wave, 5 waves up off the low here, then we'll look to go long in this particular market. And the corn market, a little bit like this, more like the soybean market really, because we've had a move up here that can be counted as, not that it really matters, because wheat has really defined the move up as being corrective, but this can count as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, or an A wave and a B wave and a C wave, and I think that we should make that the primary count. So I'll put that there. I need to save that, but I won't save it now, but I'll look at that later. But the main point here is that we've had this move up through here. The 50 and the 61.8 retracement level is here. The current move we've got down through here is in 3 waves. We can still get one more little wave down here as such to finish that off there, and then we should see a move up from that point there. So I want to allow this to complete here, either move above the 390 here, so then we get overlapping wave structures with this first leg down here, and that will give us a bullish signal, or we allow this to play out through here and then come back up through here. So as an A and a B and a C correction coming down through here. The low can be in at this point here once again, so we just need to get some evidence of what we're actually looking at here. But with these grains, we are expecting a move up. It's just not showing it just yet, so we'll just keep an eye on that and run with that. The coffee market should go to the bigger picture here, but this is fine for the time being. We're looking from wave B down to wave C, and we're looking for 5 waves. So we're looking for 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Now, I suppose if I just check on this for a second, just bear with me here. So wave 1 and wave 3, approximately the same length. So what that can do, that could actually make wave 5 have an extension in it. But that said too, we'll just see how it travels at the 150 here in the meantime. So the wave 4 here it's technically it shouldn't go into the price territory of wave 1 here. It's just stayed out of that. It has moved rather high, but we can run with that. However, the move up here appears to be in 5 waves. So it's so I'm thinking that this move up here is the same as this move here. So a move back to 50-60%, then another move up, and then a move down from that point there. So we're in a wave 4. Wave 4s can get complicated, but it does appear that this little leg up here is in 5 waves. So this little leg here appears to be in 5 waves. So, you know, if I was looking at this as a low here, that would be 5 waves up for 1, an A and a B and a C here for wave 2. So what I was thinking is that the 170 is the closest largest number. If the 170 becomes the retested resistance, then we know that we'll be moving down from that point. Otherwise, we'll be looking for another 5 waves back up here, then a move down through to here. So really not a lot going on here. If at any point in the future that the 180 became a nice retested support, then of course we would use that and we would be looking to go long from that point, but that's not the case at the moment. So we just need, there's nothing cooking here. The better market at this stage is gold and silver. Okay, the cotton market, there's also not a lot happening here as well. This is a daily chart, and last time we sort of spoke, we were looking at, you know, these moves here are all quite similar in their ways. This one's a bit more complicated, but we always understood that it was corrective and we should make a new low below here. So I am expecting a new low here, but I'm not expecting it to go too far either. And, you know, when I come down, the top was a little bit further up here. So we can look at this as being 1 and 2 here. 5 waves, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave. The fourth wave here. And then down for 1 here in terms of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1. Cross for 2, down for 3. Cross for 4 and down for 5. So we're looking at 5 waves in here. So I'm thinking that we're going to get a bounce off the 58 here. So I want to see this play out, and also too that there's a beginning, a middle and an end to a trend. This is obviously the beginning here, and all this like a ball bouncing here, getting lower highs. It's kind of, you know, it's definitely slowing down, isn't it? So it's finding some value here. And we just need to see it settle. And as soon as we see an uptrend developing with it, well, then we'll move in long from this. But it's just not there yet. Just going to have a look at the orange juice market as well. Now, we noted this particular 5-wave structure to the upside here. And we're looking for an A, B, C correction. Now, it's possible, I need to go and examine this a little bit further. It's possible that the correction can be to here. Well, in fact, to this point, just here would need to be, and then this would be up for 1 and back for 2 and a third wave moving up through here. But there is this particular count that I've got here where it's the A wave to here, a B wave, an A wave coming down here, B wave in here, an A, B and C here for the A wave, a B, and looking for 5 waves for C here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 up to here, failing it here, 5 waves down here, and then a push up. So look, if I hadn't got there earlier, I would have been looking to go long on the break of these here. But because it's further up in no man's land here, we're in the middle here, we can get ourselves into strife here. So we'll wait until we can confirm the price action, or the pattern rather, and that would be a tested support on top of 150 to go long, or we'll wait for this 5 waves to finish here and see what develops from here. If we get our C wave from here, then that's fine. If not, well, then we'll be looking to go long up here. So anyway, we'll just tune into that a little bit further as we go, but no, there's no rush for this particular market. And the cocoa market as well, there's not a lot not a lot of change here. This is the London market, and we'll be looking at the US market in a moment. But yeah, we're looking kind of expecting a correction in both of them. And the reason for showing this one 4 is that there is a little gap here, and this market will try to close that. But once it is closed here, at minimum, we can expect some type of correction like this here, because we can count this up as wave 1 or even an A wave, but still 1, 2, 3, 4, and then up for 5 here, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to here, and then a corrective move here. So it is possible for it to move on after that move there. This is, after all, a correction across the trading level 2 here, major level, and eventually it will find support, but it's not ready just yet to trade long on. And this brings us to the reason I'm showing this 4 is because of this strong move up through here, but it will correct back down. That's the point. The US market, I can see this moving up here further as well, but also correcting as well. This is very much like a corrective pattern through here. So it does highlight the point that it's most likely to be a B wave here, and how far that will move up to here, I don't know. You can see that it's more sluggish than the UK market, but just drilling into, well, mainly just drilling into this little section here, I can see that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here, and a little A, B, C here. So we should see further ground to the upside here. This is on the 1 hour chart here. So we can see here we've got 1 and 2 in here, 3rd wave in here, 4th, and then a 5th wave here. So this is the A, the B, and the C wave here. Yes, it can come down to 29.20 here and then push up here, but it should make a new high above here. Let's just see, but there's no trend here for this particular market at this stage. It's just not ready, and it won't be for a while. Like I mentioned, gold has still got some legs in it, and so has silver. I would say that they're the best bets at this point in time. The grains will be probably the second best bet, but they haven't started they haven't found their lows yet. They haven't got their rallies confirmed yet. So there's not a lot here. So I'd concentrate on gold and silver, and also gold and silver stocks as well. All right, thank you.